Hi, it's Hilary here from We Love Smart Keto, here today to do some fact checking or myth busting around something that I hear quite often in groups, and in fact I've seen it in our group once or twice, which is help. I'm not losing weight, so I think I need to eat more fat. So fact or fiction, myth or not? Put in the comments if you think it's a myth. Put in the comments if you think it's a fact, and we'll go into it and I'll have a chat with you about it, because like many things in keto, it's not black or white. So let's talk about that. So give me a 1 if you're watching live. Great to have you join us on the stream, and give us a 2 if you're watching on the replay. It's absolutely fine to be watching on the replay. Just play along as if it's live, and put in the comments when I ask you for comments and things, and you have a lot more fun. So let's get into it. So we often see, we know that on keto we eat more fat and we eat much less carbohydrates. In general, less than 20 grams of net carbohydrates per day. And so we're sort of replacing those carbs a bit with the fat. And sometimes it can take people a while to see, particularly if you're trying to lose weight. There are many reasons to do keto. Losing weight's not the only one, but it's one that many people have. And so what we're wanting to do with the reducing the amount of carbohydrate is to reduce the levels of insulin in our body, increase our insulin sensitivity. So it can take a little while for our body to switch and get adapted, because we have a number of pathways that we can metabolize food in our bodies. And so when you go onto keto and your pathways are really changing more to fat burning, fat metabolism than they are to carbohydrate metabolism, and that can take a while for that to take hold. So it can take weeks, it can even take months. 3 months is not unusual. So if you're just starting out and you're not seeing the immediate results that you're expecting, that's okay. You will be getting other benefits like reduction in inflammation, reduction in your insulin levels on their own. Makes an improvement. So it can take a while sometimes for some people for the outer side, for what you look like outside, to match. You're definitely improving your inner health. So you can be very confident about that with keto. So that's what we're going to be talking about, is about the fat component. And if you are taking a while to get the results that you want, do you need to eat more fat? So tell me in the comments, is it a fact or is it a myth? Be really interested to hear what you think. So let's have a chat about it. So what's the reason that we're eating fat on keto? Well, first of all, we need to be eating healthy fats. It's not just any fats. So we need to be eating fat that is as natural as possible. So if it's integrated with the food that you're eating, so say it's a salmon, and it's a fatty, oily fish, that's great, because you're getting that fat with the protein that you're eating. And on keto, eating moderate protein, so we're eating enough protein for our bodies to be able to repair themselves. So that's about 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of our lean body weight. So if your lean body weight, so your kind of ideal weight is your lean body weight without your fat is say 45 kilos, then that's about 90 grams of sort of 80 to 95 grams of, 75 to 90 grams of protein per day, which is like 150 gram, piece of chicken with skin on, something like that. So we need to be eating the protein to, for our muscles to rebuild and for our organs to, repair and rebuild themselves, because our body is constantly refreshing itself. And so if there's just fat that comes along with that protein, that's the best. Then we can also add some healthy fats. So we could add, for example, some avocado, some butter, some cheese, some coconut oil. Those kind of very natural fats are okay. Olive oil is also okay. What we don't want to be adding is the highly processed fat. So we don't want to be adding sunflower oil, soy oil, soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, which may or may not include vegetables, generally seed oil. And the reason we don't want to include those is because they're highly processed. They go through a number of stages to make them, and so they're highly processed. And so what we're trying to do is keep our food as close to nature as we can. So those are the types of fats that we should be eating. So if you are having a bit of a struggle, just have a look at the fats you're eating and whether you're keeping those really as natural as possible. So tell me what your fat of choice is, what your preferred oil is, and I'd be really interested, and I can give you a suggestion as to whether that's is a healthy choice or not. So then we want to be eating just enough fat to make us feel satiated, to make us feel comfortably full without feeling overfull. So not that Thanksgiving or Christmas, oh my goodness, I couldn't eat another thing kind of full. Just, I'm comfortably full. I could potentially eat a little bit more, but I don't really feel like I need to. That's the kind of full that we want to be. So what you want to do is only eat that amount and not to snack, okay? Because what we want to do is to give our system a chance to rest and digest. And if we're constantly snacking and we're having fat bombs and things, we're not giving our body a chance to rest and digest. And what we're trying to do is allow our body to get to the fat stores, the fat stores that we have, on our tummies, on our legs, sometimes on our arms. Those are they're the kind of our long-term storage, if you like. And so our body goes to those last because it's worried about whether, a famine's coming. And so it needs to hold on to those stores. So what we need to do is to give our bodies a chance to be able to access those stores by keeping our blood sugar levels down, by not eating carbohydrates. That in turn keeps the insulin levels down. If we're then giving our bodies a break, so we're just eating enough to feel comfortably full and then not snacking, gives our bodies a chance to get rid of the fats that we've just eaten that are circulating in our bloodstream. And then our body goes, oh, I need some more energy. Where am I going to get it from? I'm going to go and get it from the fat stores. So what happens then, do you think, if you're not getting the results you want at that point and you go, well, I need to put more fat into the system. I need to eat more fat in order to lose weight. Well, in fact, what you're then doing is you're not giving your body that chance it needs to go to its fat stores and go and get that fat out of the fat stores because you're topping up the amount of fat. So it is, in fact, yes, you guessed it, it is, in fact, a myth. If you're not getting the results that you want on keto, the answer is not to go and eat more fats, even if you're already full. So the answer is to eat enough fat, enough healthy fat to keep you comfortably full. And I would suggest that really, if you're not getting the results you want, sometimes it's just a bit of patience. It can, particularly if you're a little bit older, and particularly for us women, when you get a little bit older, our hormones, we have a lot more going on with our hormones and it can be a bit more challenging. And similarly, if you're a bit younger and obviously it can depend on your monthly cycle. And, certainly for me, I know that I've had times where you just got to wait for, there's times of the month where you just, your body's in storage, and there's times of the month when your body's willing to let it go. So, a bit more complicated for us than it is for men, as with many things. So if you are sort of experiencing, results that are a bit slower than you'd like, then what I'd suggest that you do is just have a look at the quality of the fats that you're eating and have a look at making sure that you're just eating enough to make you feel comfortably full and not snacking. And then what I'd suggest also is just, perhaps skip a meal. If you can, I always skip breakfast apart from on the weekends. I like to have my breakfast on a weekend, but during the week when I'm at work, I basically have black coffee till about lunchtime, and I have a very light lunch, and then I have a sort of an early dinner. And I find that works for me. The other thing is not eating too late at night, because because overnight our system rests and digests and refreshes. And so what we want to do is to give our body as much opportunity to do that as well. So no calories, about 3 hours before you go to bed. And the other thing I suggest you have a look at is whether you're drinking your calories. So, keto coffee, so bulletproof coffee, lovely as a way to, if you're really, really hungry, lovely as a way just to kind of top up. But if you are not getting the results that you want, then have a look and try and just have calorie-free drinks that have water, black coffee, black tea, things like that. So that chicken broth is also okay, just so that you're not loading up on calories unnecessarily. While we don't count calories, calories do count, as I often say. So I hope that's really useful. If you've got some questions, please just post them in the stream. Sometimes I find it difficult to look at the comments as I'm going through, so I will just check on after this stream and just make sure that I haven't missed any of your comments there. But I hope that's really helpful for you. So the answer is, if I'm not getting the results I want with keto, do I need to eat more fat? And the answer is no. Obviously, you need to keep your carbohydrates low, below 20 grams net carbohydrates per day. But the answer is not necessarily to eat more fats. The answer is to eat good, healthy fats and to make sure that you're having breaks between when you're eating. And of course, I forgot to mention, drink lots of water, enough water so that you don't feel thirsty. We don't really need to measure how much water we drink. Our body tells us how much to drink and we know when we're thirsty, but just make sure you keep those fluids up to your body. So I know we've had a couple of questions in the group about that recently, so I hope that's really helpful and I'll see you in the group. There is one thing that I wanted to mention, is that I really want to get to know some of you a bit better and learn a little bit more about you. And so I'm offering some 30-minute free consults with you guys. I've got a limited number of them. I will post in the group. So if you're interested, just post me in the comments and we'll send you a message to book in for that. Those will be next week. At this stage, it might extend a little bit more. It just depends on just a few things at the moment. But I'm a qualified keto coach and I'd love to connect with you and learn a little bit more about you so that I can make sure that I'm giving you what you need here in the group and learning a little bit more about some of our really wonderful members in the group. So just pop me in the comments below and we'll be chatting with you in the group. Thanks so much, guys. See you soon.